I don't know if you can see it very well through this lens, but you can see the sun looks a little filtered out. It's hazy here, very hazy. Well, let's put it this way. Yeah, all right. Well, let's call it hazy, okay? But not hazy from haze. It's smoke coming down from the Canadian wildfires. Now, I'm approximately 500 to 700 miles away from them fires. And here we are, right in southeast Wisconsin, being zapped by smoke from the Canadian wildfires. Now, that's here. In my backyard. That's here, okay? From Canadian wildfires. Can you imagine being closer to that area? Say you're 300 miles north of here, or 200 something miles north of here. I have a son that is. I'm going to call him and check on, see how things are going up there and how bad it is. So here we are. More Canadian wildfires. I did some research, and I'm going to be doing more, and I'll keep you updated on things I know of the Canadian wildfires during our shows. One of the things I found, whether it's true or you know, I mean, you can't believe everything you hear, right? You can't believe everything you read anymore, but you have to research and hopefully find the right answers. And I guess maybe if you lead on the research and you find the same answer continuously, if you're actually looking it up or checking I don't know, a Gemini or something that's, what is that, a USAAI thing that might have some answers, because those things are programmed so well. And I would think that they would give you the truth to the best of our knowledge, because the thing, they can't think or use brains like we do. Well, like some of us do. Okay. So here we got these wildfires in Canada, flooding the Missouri. Wow, huh? Everything going on all over the place. And I'm questioning it. Are we seeing, I know some people say the end of times and that God's coming, and a lot of people believe that. I'm not knocking that at all, because I am of a spiritual type belief. However, and you see that sun behind me there? You see that little hazy, that's from that smoke. I can smell it. The smoke is so heavy, it smells like it's just maybe a couple miles away from me. The air quality's bad. They say you shouldn't be breathing it in, but I'm not in the middle of the fire. I'm here. But it's bad. It's, affecting things. But back to what I was saying, are we seeing a whole different ecology change in our environment? We got moose wandering around in northern Wisconsin now, and not a lot of them, but some. Although there has been experiences done where some wildlife has been brought back to Wisconsin, like the elk. And remember those words, brought back to Wisconsin. They used to literally actually be here. So it's not like they're not native to the land, or we're not native to the land. They were reintroduced, some of these things. But we have cougars. And I did a lot of research on that. And apparently some of these cougars and things like that, they're male cougars that get kicked out of the area by other male cougars. So they wander. And they'll wander hundreds and hundreds to 1,000 miles looking for female cougars. So some of them cougars, right here in our state, in Wisconsin, and in upper Michigan area, wander probably from South Dakota. That's quite interesting. Moose, I thought that some of these animals were wandering down from Canada and making it to our state in upper Michigan because of these fires. Now, last year we had another Canadian fire. Apparently that is not the case, not from what the research I've done. And moose, a lot of times, they'll wander away from a fire and escape it like a lot of animals would do in the area, go to other areas, flee. And what happens is after that fire sweeps through a little bit and some of the green vegetation starts to come up, they'll go back in there and start eating on that. I mean, that's it's very interesting, very interesting. I don't know. I would think the smoldering ambers would still be underneath there, a little warm, but I don't know the whole story on these fires. I do know one thing I heard, too. Not why this is on my mind. I got to bring it out. The winter that we had, you think, oh wow, all the snow and all the cold and everything. You think that would put it did it put it helped put the fire out as fall of the year came in. It slowed things down. I mean, as winter came in, it slowed things down. But I heard underneath snow and things like that, that after things melted, now here we are, late July. We're getting closer to August. Okay, August. So what I heard was that these ambers, actually some of them not totally fizz out because they were underneath everything, which I don't understand because you think you suffocate them, right? So I'm going to be doing some research on that. It could have been a possibility if something still has sparked up, traveled, blew in the wind. I don't know. I'm going to look some of that up and help bring these fires back. Now, I don't know. That don't sound very logical to me, but I'm, out of research and science that I'm looking up, and I'm going to bring that to you as best as I can. Anything I'm giving you is some research. As a matter of fact, I think I'll look some things up. How some people go to Sarah and Sari or whatever they call it. I'll look that up, and we'll go from there. But boy, it looks to me like, wow, there's a lot of things happening. And then we have the threat, all these threats against our country, America, the one of the most beautifulest places in the world to live, okay? But we have the threat because, like the ecology changing, people are changing, and they're not thinking, and that's not good. That's not good. We don't need people that don't think for themselves. We need people that think for themselves and they use their heads. A lot of changes going on in the world, and we are now witnessing it. And with all that being said, not because I'm doing the outdoor show right now, that maybe, just maybe, with all this happening, maybe we are seeing the change in the world. Because it's not, all these countries are seeing changes, right? Well, so is America. So we're seeing changes in our outdoors. Let's keep it simple. Our great outdoors, the thing we love. We're seeing some changes. Some of it is management, how it's managed, and is it managed correctly? And some of us would argue that and say, no, I don't think it's being managed very correctly. And there again, it should be common sense. What are these people thinking? I don't know, folks, where we're at. You can see in back of me. See how hazy it looks in there through the trees? That's smoke. That's smoke from the wildfires in Canada. So you can imagine how bad that is up there right now. I feel sorry for those people. Minnesota, it's sweeping through Minnesota. The people that are nature lovers there, they're being evacuated. I'll look to see what's going on for Michigan, which isn't far from me. That was my neck of the woods if I wanted to travel up to Lake of the Clouds. In fact, I'm going to look that up and see how bad that is up there right now. So, tragic. I don't like to see it. None of us like to see it. But at the same point in time, fire can rejuvenate the whole forest. But when you have them year after year after year, you're like, wow, what the hell's going on? Well, changing of the weather. And there's been theories and rumors there. I also looked up another thing. I'll bring this up while it's on my mind. In Canada, there's been a lot of reading on the internet, probably more than anywhere, and about the Canadian government taking away their fishing and hunting rights. Now, what I read was that's not true. That's a rumor floating around, and it's floating around so badly that it's written all over the place, and people are reading it and believing it. So whether it is or not, I'll try to do some more research, and I will bring you that research. I'll bring it to you right from my phone. I'll let you hear what I found. In fact, so maybe I'll have to I'll have to look on this Gemini app, or I'll have to look on some other things. Find out what we can find out. And that thing usually, though, it'll tell you can go here and look this up, or go here and look that up. So, like, again, you get 8 out of 10 responses that are more on a positive note, that this is what's really happening. You're almost better off to go with that hunch than reading a bunch of malarkey on the internet that may not be true. And I read it, and I believed it, because, boy, some of it sure sounds logical, right? But, man, when you see something, you better look it up. And I won't get into talking about our country right now. Some of you may know I've been working on some military films, and we have a damn right to be concerned of what's going on. There's a lot of things that need to be changed in our system. And if they don't change it, and they're stupid enough to keep going the way they're going, they will, you know what, I'm not going to get into that. You know, enjoy our earth, enjoy what God did give us, respect what we have, and, you know, have some strength. You know, maybe, you know, if you don't believe in that type of thing, I'm going to straighten something out here. My wife's, all this hard work we do in the yard to keep it a little nature sanctuary in her garden, and all the things, crops we grow, and we love it back here. We like to come back here once in a while and have a cup of coffee. This morning, that's not the case with all this. Yeah, we got highlines above us. I don't like that, but I don't even know if those are active anymore. I'd like to get them removed, but anyway, it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to complain, because it could be worse, right? It could be a lot worse. At least I got a place and a roof over my head, and I'm around, you know, some parks where if I want to go walking or hiking or any of that great stuff, I can do that. You know, a lot of people don't get that option, and if I want to take a ride up north and go enjoy the wilderness even more and get into those millions of acres of national forest, I can do that. I'm not going to do it right now, not with this Canadian wildfires going on. It's not because I'm afraid, but it's going to be pretty tough to enjoy when you got all this smoke. I mean, I'm probably going to be smelling it on my clothes, and here I am 500 to 700 miles away from those fires. So yeah, there's a lot going on, folks, a lot going on. And it's up to us, the people, to try to help change it, learn to live with it, and see if we can't come up with different ideas, and maybe present them ideas. I don't know. Question is, are they going to listen? So, I don't know. But let's keep battling, folks, because that's part of what life is about, doing the right thing. I think that's what it's supposed to be about. And it's tragic that we have to see all these changes, because we have, in my case, grandchildren. I have children, but they're growing children. There's people that have younger kids than me, and they want to see good for their kids. And so it can be sad, right? But you know what? Let's not look at it as sad. Let's look at it as, okay, what can I do to help change this? And I, for one, hey, I'd be interested in your story. You know, hey, Dean, I don't like this this stuff that's going on, because I'm working on the military films too. So you know, you've got a point of view. I'll tell you what, I use right now. I'm using an email. I'm going to find. You can go to my website and contact me there, outdoorwild.net. But you can go send that email to outdoorwildtvmyclips@gmail.com. Send me a comment. You got a thought? Let's work on it together, man. I'll have you on the show. We'll do a podcast, right? You got a thought on the outdoors? You got a thought on the military? I'll have you on the show, because I am trying to incorporate, how can I put this? I'm not going to be saying this right, but I would like to bring, I want to work with some veterans, help veterans, get them in the show. But that's not the reason I'm doing the military shows right now. I'm doing that because I've said this before. I wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be here listening to my BS, right? You might call it whatever you want to call it, okay? If it weren't for these guys, these veterans that have made the ultimate sacrifice, and not by choice. They were forced to go to fight an ugly war. Wars. Let's put it that way. And anybody here now, I'm doing a segment called Life After Nam that I have on my Outdoor Wild YouTube page, and I believe the Rumble page. And I'm working on the Rumble page. Got a lot of work to do on that one. And I got it at myoutdoorwild.net. But the reason I am doing that is because, again, if it weren't for these people, we wouldn't be here enjoying our great outdoors, because God knows what would have happened by this point in time. I probably wouldn't have been born, okay? And I'm old, but I'm 68. So, but yeah, so at any rate, the only thing I can tell you guys is let's just keep swinging, keep punching, and doing what we have to do. And check it out. Go to outdoorwild.net. If you got a comment, email me, man. Go to outdoorwildtvmyclips@gmail.com. Send me an email, and you got something you want to say about these fires, or opinions on the flooding in Missouri, or any of that stuff. You want to do a podcast, get on there, express some opinions or ideas or thoughts, or why don't. Let's ask these questions, or let's present these ideas, and let's put them out there to the public. All right. That's all I got to say right now about the wildfires and the other natural disasters that are happening, and the man-made disasters. That's another story, and someday we might get into that. Look at that haze back there. I can see it through here. Look at that haze. That's smoke. Smoke from 500 to 700 miles away from me, drifting down this way. Can't be too pretty up there right now. All right. But anyway, again, fire rejuvenates. Let's hope the weather will straighten out, and let's hope that we get things back under control. It's a never-ending battle, folks. Man, I'm surprised I'm not a whole lot more gray and a whole lot more older, but I'm doing okay. I do accept. I don't like it. But here. You take the man out of the country, right? But you can't take the country out of the man. All right. So just folks, things will be okay. Well, let's try to make them okay. Let's work together. And I don't want it just because it's my show. I would like, if you guys have opinions or anything, stress it to me. Let's do that in an email. All right. Take care, guys. And just a little notation. And I'm going to roll you some footage, and we'll get into that momentarily. All right. Let's get on.